Maybe it's ladies and gentlemen and compliments of the season.
Come to you.
My name is Derek
I'm good with the food. Try you.
It is my honor to welcome you to the official opening of the office space and shelter of the Safe Haven Foundation. The, please, a round of applause. Thank you very much. The Safe Haven Foundation, founded in 2016, is focused on empowering and communities to break the cycle of domestic violence through counseling, legal support, education and rehabilitation, through research advocacy. They aim at fostering lasting change, ensuring safety, healing, and ensuring brighter futures. In shortly, I'll be inviting the founder of the Safe Haven Foundation to talk to us. But before then, please permit me to welcome some of the people, some of dignitaries who are here with us. I would like to welcome especially the Director General of the Legal Aid Council, Mr. Aliyu Abubakar. I saw Mr. Babatunde Rukera earlier. Let me also mission of the Swiss Embassy. I also want to welcome especially officers and men of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. We also have in our midst Mrs. Imobong Ladipo Sanusi from Whatcliffe. We also have Mr. Abdugani Abubakar, the chairman and president of Network Against Child Trafficking. As we go on, because I want us to meet up with the side and we have here yes, the different partners, big base of organizations.
You go hide, I define you.
So please, let's give a sounding.
Vex. Let's manage this one, you know.
Can you make this thing work?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here. It's truly an honor to visit you all today at the Safe Haven Foundation office. I am seeing some former colleagues for the first time since I left my previous role as Director General of NAPTIP. And one recurring question I keep getting, people ask, so what are you up to now? Well, I'm back to my career as an academic at the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, where I have worked for the past 12 years. There is this fantastic thing about public service that gives you that room of flexibility to do other things. And I've been privileged to have served on several secondments and leave of absence. I started with the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. From there, I was appointed Senior Special Assistant to the President on Rule of Law in the Office of the Vice President. Then in 2021, I was appointed Director General of NAPTIP. So I am currently on my 1-year sabbatical from the Institute, and I'm using my time to, get Safe Haven Foundation off the ground. I'm also doing some consulting, doing speaking engagements, and I'm also doing a joint research with a university in the United States. So that being said, today marks the beginning of a new chapter to create a safe, supportive, and empowering space for survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse. So in 2016, I founded Safe Haven Foundation, but since then I haven't had time to get it off the ground for obvious reasons, different work commitments, different appointments. But the silver lining is the fact that during the 8 year hiatus, it gave me room to study the SGBV ecosystem. And that in turn gave me clarity on what Safe Haven should focus on. And the reason why I also founded Safe Haven Foundation was to, have a platform to keep doing what I love, which is using the law as a tool for social and transformative change. So Safe Haven was born out of a vision to provide hope and healing to survivors, amplify their voices, and to ensure that no one feels alone in their journey towards safety and justice. And the mission of Safe Haven Foundation is very simple, which is to prevent domestic violence and sexual abuse through strategic legal interventions, research driven advocacy, and support to survivors and also to offenders. And at the foundation, we'll be providing four key services. Number one will be advocacy. Number two will be free legal representation and advice and also referral services. Number three will be research and publication. Number four will be sheltering and counseling. Then for advocacy, we'll be raising awareness across communities in the FCT with the aim of fostering behavioral change. So we all know that behavioral change is scientific, and behavioral change prevents abuse from happening. And for any society to function as should, there should be in place what they call people-centered access to justice. And what I mean by people-centered access to justice is people should have access to information. When somebody runs into trouble, they should know what to do. They should know who to call. They should know where to go to. At least they should have the ability to resolve their problems to a certain extent before they involve law enforcement. And I realized something very shocking happened about 3 months ago. So, of course, like I said, the foundation was set up in 2016. Periodically I check the email to see if people send us emails. And I hadn't done that for 3 years. And I did that a few months ago. And to my surprise, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails from women, emails from way back 2021. And a lot of them were seeking for advice. A lot of them wanted to know what to do. A lot of them needed help. And that is to show the depth of the problem that we face as a country and as a society. And we can never have enough, very preventive initiative due to the depth of the problem that we see every day. Just a few months ago, I think between May and June, my team and I from NAPTIP, we did community dialogues around the 6 area councils in the FCT. So we went, all over Abuja. We started with Amak, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Abaji, and Kwali. And for every single area council that we visited, the shocking conversations around rape kept on coming up. And you would think that in 2024, people will know better. And the people that were even championing that conversation were people who should know better. I'm talking about educated people. I'm also talking about people in law enforcement. And that perception of women get raped because of the way they dress kept coming up. And it was very important for me to address that misconception. The victim was one conversation that kept coming up was also female genital mutilation. And I remember getting into, I'll say, a friendly argument with the chief imam. So you can imagine the chief imam of Wari Area Council, where we finished our, nice presentations and all that. When it was time for question and answer, the guy just took the microphone and said that we had no right to come into the community to tell them what to do, and that we shouldn't talk about issues we don't understand. And about it. So, I took the microphone and I told him that I said it wasn't nothing, it was the law. Then he said, but it wasn't all human beings that wrote the law. So these are the kind of things that we are dealing with as a country. So the second service I talked about was legal representation, advice, and referral services. So what we have done is we have an embedded law firm in Safe Haven Foundation called Umar Waziri and Partners. So that law firm will handle everything that has to do with legal services for indigent women, because we know that a lot of indigent women have issues when it has to um, engaging lawyers to handle especially civil litigation. So we'll be focusing on things like protective or protection order. Anybody who wants protection order will help them facilitate that. Also custody and divorce issues, and compensation for victims as provided for in the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. And we'll also be collaborating with another law firm. I'm not sure if it's here, Mutiu Akinsoya will also be okay. Mutiu is here, so we'll also be collaborating with him. This is an area that Mutiu has worked with um, for long. Then, of course, in terms of research and publication, we'll conduct in-depth research on varying issues to inform policy and practice. We keep using the same statistics for 10 years. You hear 1 in 3 women in their lifetime has gotten raped in Nigeria, and we know that that landscape has shifted. So we cannot have current data or statistics if we do not do research, because we know that the LGBT landscape is constantly evolving. Then, of course, sheltering and counseling, providing emergency shelter for people who need it the most, and creating a safe space for survivors to express their emotions through counseling. We know that access to shelter in Nigeria is very challenging, and even more challenging in the FCC. And I, it's hard, it's tasking, it's draining. So I understand why a lot of NGOs don't venture into operating shelters. But this is something that has to be done, because survivors should be able to access, safe space and habitable shelter. I know that we struggled a lot in NAPTIP. Oh my God, especially the shelter here in Abuja. Ideally, victims of human trafficking and survivors of sexual and gender-based violence should be sheltered separately. But because of the lack of shelters in the FCC, they had to be sheltered together. And these different groups of people have different, pathways, healing pathways. So somebody has to do it, and we decided to take up the challenge at Safe Haven Foundation. And for starters, the maximum length of time will be 14 days. So anyone can come and stay for as long as 14 days. And as we get, funding, we can increase the length of stay. And the hope is for, a survivor to be able to stay for as long as they need it. So as we officially open our doors in January 2025, I invite you all to be part of this movement. We'll be relying heavily on partnership with other NGOs, with CSO, development partners, even government agencies. So let me end by thanking everyone again for being here, for being part of my journey through life. For most people here, I have a history, with you. And I would like to recognize the presence of everyone. I can't, know who is here. Okay, I saw Tola Johnson. Tola Johnson just came in. We were colleagues at OVP. He's Senior Special Assistant to the President
called MSME in the office of the vice president. And he was one of the first people who supported me when I got appointed as DG NAPTIP. So Tola, that's why I invited you. You have to continue. Then, of course, development partners. Chris, is that Chris? But you told me you're not going to come. Welcome, welcome. The Swiss embassy is here. Good partners. We worked really well when I was in NAPTIP. British High Commission, Chris Grimson is here. I can see Andy behind him. Head of agency, my brother, Director General Legal Aid Council, Mr. Ali Abakar, is a very, very good friend. We worked, together, and we'll be, of course, partnering with him. We're taking part of the burden from him, because what we'll be doing is, so he's supposed to be doing it, but we know that funding is never enough. So CSOs and NGOs, they are here to complement what government is doing. CSOs don't have the depth or the reach that government has. Their role is to complement what government is doing. Representative from European Union delegation for Nigeria and ECOWAS, Laolu or Launi. Where's Laolu? Laolu is there. I first met Laolu in, I think, 2017 as an independent evaluator for the anti-corruption program that was implemented by UNODC. That's, I think, EDF 10. That was the first time I met Laolu, and ever since we become homies, and she's remained in my life. Laolu, thank you for coming. ECOWAS, I saw Tunde. Yes, Tunde is here. Is Mr. Tony, Dr. Tony Lumelu is here. I can see people. Oh, look at here. I can see everybody looking confused. They are brothers. They happen to come to a family where they like Tony a lot. So he's my husband's uncle. He's my in-law. Dr. Tony is the director with ECOWAS. Thank you, Dr. Lumelu. Then, okay, I mentioned representatives of diplomatic corps. I don't know if USAID is here. Madam Angela. Oh, okay, USAID is here. Thank you. Adeze. I don't know if Adeze is here. INL. She said she was going to be here. Ford Foundation. Dr. Chichi. She's left. Okay, Dr. Chichi. The lady with the big pocket. Thank you for coming. Ford, in fact, when I was at NAPTIP, Ford gave NAPTIP the first direct grant for the implementation of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act in the FCT. And when I say direct grant, as in they paid the money into NAPTIP's account. And that particular grant has been instrumental in supporting engagement with judges, supporting engagement with state mechanisms that work in the SGBV space. NIALS, my NIALS family. I know I saw Dr. Osato Uraga. Okay, Adula, Prudence is here. Professor Ibe Ifekando, I don't know if he's here, but thank you for coming. The Pakas family, Agogo is here. Ona Peters here. Thank you for coming. Yewande, the head of SGBV unit, Federal Ministry of Justice. Yewande sent me a referral last week. I was so scared that I had to call her to say, Yewande, we've not started now. This I invite you for opening. We've not done opening. We are referring. Yewande had already referred a mother and daughter for shelter. I called Yewande, I was panicking. I said, Yewande, we've not started. Hey, Joe, we are starting in January. So Yewande, thank you for being here. CSOs. My first job straight out of law school, I worked with Human Rights Law Service in Lagos. So I actually started my career working with an NGO before, switching to government. So I'm part of you. And that was why when I was in NAPTIP, I had, an open door policy, CSOs, NGOs, CBOs, they're all my friends. Thank you for being here. Dr. Mufliat, thank you for being here. President of NACTAL is here. Thank you for being here. JDPC, I don't know if JDPC is here. Oh, Timothy, my friend, JDPC, thank you for coming. What Clef, Emma Bong, thank you for being here. Men Against Rape, Lemme, that is one he or she champion when it has to do with advocating against sexual and gender-based violence. I think a lot of the men here should take a leave from Lemme. Tech R, Cedar Seed Foundation, Jonah PWD, Dr. Asmao. Dr. Asmao Leo, I like to call her small but mighty. I'll be chatting with her today. The next minute she'll tell me she's in Vienna or she's in New York. Thank you for being here. Development partners. Okay, Makato left. Rolak, I see. Where's Mr. Plank? Tonya Sigiwa. Mr. Plank is not here. Where's Mr. Plank? I can't see Mr. Plank. Okay. Oh, Mr. Plank, I would have forgiven you if you did not show up. Thank you for coming. UNFPA is here. Mrs. Wumi Laolo Akande. I'm sure a lot of you know her husband. He used to be SSA Media and Publicity for former Vice President Professor Oshibajo. Thank you for coming. Expertise France, Pathfinder International. The country director is here. Charles Uze is here. Thank you. IPA, Fumi Ayeni. Thank you for coming. And also, of course, my friend Hadiza Gamawa, EFCC. So EFCC is here. Oh, no strain of money. And the Madaki Chika Ike Jiaku. I think I tried. Chika. Thank you, Chika, for being here. Then of course my family, my older sister is here, Mrs. Lami Amos Mayaki, the Alhamdus. I can see Binta Alhamdu, Amina Alhamdu, Salma Alhamdu. One person is missing. Where is Yusuf? All right. Then of course family friends, Alaji Ibrahim Yusuf is here, Mr. Olatubosu is here, and many others that I can't see, but I know they are here. Kelechi Amurja, thank you all for your hard work and always showing up. Kelechi is also with the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, is also an academic. Then, of course, Murja and I work in the office of the Vice President. Unkoli is here. We all work together, Office of the Vice President. Thank you for coming. Mr. Adi Ifaye is supposed to be here, but I haven't seen him. Uche was at the president's side. Uche, thank you for coming. Then Benga, I don't know if Benga is here. Benga is the architect that helped put all this together. Then my friends from the media, AIT, NANS, NTA, Guardian. Guardian is actually my birthday mate. And who else is here this day? Thank you for the support. Endless support I got from them. Yeah? Who? Yeah, Nan. That's Nan. Nan. So thank you all for being here. So finally, it is one thing to have a vision, and it is another thing to bring that vision to life. And the person who has supported in bringing the vision of Safe Haven Foundation to life, financially, technically, even spiritually, is my husband, Mr. Patrick Inamdi Azi. He's the one that put the money here. So thank you. In fact, immediately I told him that this was what I wanted to do. He was like, oh yeah, let's go and make it happen. In fact, he was here today at 7:30 to ensure that, meanwhile I was still sleeping at home, to ensure that everything was in check. So thank you again for being here. And yes, there is small chops, there is drinks. Then anyone who is interested in, I think we have the time for the tour. We can give you a guided tour. Thank you very much. And I look forward to your partnership.
Please, can we give Professor Patriva as a bigger round of applause? When I was listening to all the recognitions, I was saying one of the most important ones is not there. But finally, so someone comes up with ideas and someone comes up with a checkbook. So I was very happy when she recognized Mr. Patrick Azi. I do think if you have gone inside to see what has happened so far, I do think Mr. Patrick Azi deserves another round of applause. Also want to recognize the presence of all law enforcement, security and law enforcement agencies present with us. This particular recognition is important I did it because the first quarters of Prof's speech was missed because the sound and light people did not work. Our microphone did not work. So I'm telling them because we are going to ask for refunds. Okay, I will just rush into the goodwill messages. We'll have 20 minutes for this. So if we call you, you just have 2 minutes to say, just give us a little bit of goodwill message to support what's going on here. The first of my is the Director General of Legal Aid Council, Mr. Aliyu Abubakar.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. When we were about to start, the MP said whatever happens that we're going to leave here by 6 o'clock. I looking at my watch, it is just about 3 or 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. I knew it was not going to be because I knew that there was no way you are going to present with the amiable, let me call her celebrant today, because we are celebrating an idea which she founded and which has come to fruition today. There's no way you can assess the performance of the prof. So we are all here to facilitate with our sister over the establishment of the Safe Haven Foundation, an organization that is established to cater for the less privileged in our society, especially on those issues that lead to gender violence relating to women. We in the Legal Aid Council are in a familiar ground, and we're here to assure and reassure our sister of the fact that not only are we going to partner with Safe Haven Foundation, we are going to make sure that we become part and parcel of the foundation right from the takeoff period. We are going to make sure that we participate in virtually every activity, everything that the foundation is set out to achieve. We are going to make available our offices and officers available to the foundation so that it could be able to achieve the much that it wants to achieve in the discharge of their corporate responsibility as registered by the Corporate Affairs Commission. So, Ma, we congratulate you for this epic foundation, and we want to assure you and assure you of our commitment to participate. But I want to say one thing before I give up the microphone. When I read in the social media that our sister has been replaced in NAPTIP, I was shocked and surprised. Shocked and surprised because we are all agreed that our sister was one of the best performing heads of agencies under the Federal Ministry of Justice. You know, so but we realized that it was not about performance always. There are certain factors that come into play. Then I console myself in the fact that our sister is still young enough, and by the grace of Almighty God, we know, and I'm prophesying today, that our sister is going to bounce back by the grace of God. Inshallah. So, Ma, we congratulate you and thank you very much, and God bless you, and God bless the Foundation.
Thank you very much, sir. Quickly, let me call on Mr. Danla Diklan from Roland for his goodwill message.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was speaking on behalf of the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program. I'll be speaking on behalf of our friends from the European Union. And then, is the FMOJ part of this? There was a conversation around that I should speak for 3 or 4 agencies. Okay, including Federal Ministry of Justice. Patty, I think the first thing we want to do is to thank you for all the good work that you've been doing. Both in NELS and what you have done when you were in NAPTIP. It was quite good that we worked with you. Some of the successes that we were able to achieve as program and also with funding from the EU but because of your leadership in NAPTIP, supporting our program and also for us supporting what we've been doing. We're happy that after leaving NAPTIP, you are not resting on your oars and that you've decided to take this up. I think it's a challenge for many people that while in service and out of service, you still want to take forward what you have been doing. Shows the passion and the commitment. And it's our prayer that you will succeed. We'll continue to support you as much as we can. I think in the group that I'm representing, I believe there are prayer warriors there. So even if the funding doesn't come, the prayers will come. Wish you every success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next on my list is the president of the Network of Civil Society Organization Against Child Trafficking, Mr. Abdulganiyu Abubakar. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you, Kelechi. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the platform I represent, the Network Against Child Trafficking, Abuse and Labor, NACTAL Nigeria, I want to congratulate our leader. I call her my leader for life, Professor Fatima Oziri Aziz. I was actually in the box when I read that article or whatever announcing the change of leadership in NAPTIP. I think after Maghrib. And of course, characteristics of civil society organizations, I quickly consulted with my colleagues and I wrote a very long article, which of course I was to publish to express the displeasure civil society movement on that decision. But of course, I got some words from elders who feel I should do otherwise. But thank God, all that is history now. Prof is back home and she's going to be working with the stakeholders she's used to working with. And we are committed to continue to support this very good initiative that she has started. It is a blessing in disguise. So once again, I want to congratulate you and assure you that the over 200 member organizations of NACTAL will partner with this very noble foundation, including the leadership of the West African Coalition Against Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants, who have also had experience working with you. In fact, the platform also protested when I shared that particular experience with them. They were not happy and they consider it as something that has taken the Nigerian response back. But we are on and will continue pushing. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. The next on the list is Dr. Tony Elumelu. Please, a round of applause.
Good evening, all. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be here just on the stage here on two platforms, and that is home and also work. I just want to say that I'm so glad and I'm not surprised about the coming on board on my sister-in-law. The husband is my nephew. So that's one cap, which means that traditionally this project is backed from the blessings from home. And secondly, in terms of quality of services that we render from here, there's no doubt at all about our ability to deliver, which has been over-mentioned by critical stakeholders in terms of migration management. And I'm saying this from the point of knowledge. I worked in migration and I did the enforcement from the Nigerian aspect. And now I'm with the private sector, but at the regional level too, which means that I understand the dynamics and where this project will lead to. The most important thing is she participated in terms of migration management at the regional level, at the national level, and the ideas and the experience she will bring to play will also bring in drama in this. Without talking too much, I am looking at a way where this will be replicated in other countries. The project will not only stay here, but also be replicated at the West African region. Because I know who she is. I know the quality of service that she has provided. The beauty of it, you look at the stakeholders here, you find that the EFCC is here, which means that there's a clean bill of health. And I know Madam will agree with me that there's a clean bill in terms of integrity, which matters most. So on behalf of my colleagues from the ECOWAS Commission, the department that I head as the private sector, want us to throw our weight behind her so that she will get the necessary support, because what she is doing here will impact in terms of our regional integration and development. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I promised earlier that we'll still finish at 6, even though we started 30 minutes late. It's just 10 minutes, and I'm happy to announce that we'll come to the last item on the agenda. Because I can see the last item is light refreshment, but it's already going on. So, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the State Temple Foundation, I want to say a very big thank you to all of us for making our time from a very busy schedule after work to come here today and join the opening of the office space and shelter. Please, thank you so much. And like Prof said, she'll be counting on your support as she goes along. The office and shelter tour, some people had their own tour at the beginning before we started. But if you haven't, there's somebody at the shelter that can give you a tour around the shelter, and there's somebody else waiting at the entrance of the office. So once you are done with your light refreshments on your way out, and just pop into the shelter or the main office and just take it off and leave. Thank you very much.
That was over.
Hello. Excuse me. There are a couple of people that are not gotten at all. There are a couple of people that are not gotten at all. There's some people working in front. Up to like 10 people outside there that are working. Yes, please. And then you start from here. Start with him. Yes, please. Just start with him. Please.
Good evening, please. I'm told that these cars are blocking the entrance of construction site just beside this building. A carrier with the plate number FKJ 354B. We also have a Haida Hansa Abuja YAB 946 and Toyota Supplier Lagos EKY 567XG. Please go on, sir. Thank you.